All right, where we left off, we are talking about the Mormons and the Santa Fe Trail, the people of the Santa Fe Trail and the Oregon Trail, how these people did not let opinions and obstacles stop them, and that they demonstrated faith and courage by taking some reasonable, educated risks to make their lives better. Today we're going to look at how Texas came to be and what we can learn from the early Texans. So the Texas Revolution, Texas in the beginning was just this part right here, wasn't the whole, what we think of the state today. Texas was part of the Spanish Empire originally, but the Spanish Empire is weakening because the Spanish are getting weaker all over the world. Revolutions in South and Central America are weakening the Spanish Empire, and the Spanish are losing their grip on their worldwide empire. Mexico will earn its independence as one of these revolutions. Father Miguel Hidalgo will get the process started. When Mexico started, it's weak, but full of lots of land. It has a hard time governing the land that they have. Mexico is looking to strengthening themselves by trying to attract American settlers. They offer free land to any American that want to come to the Texas province of Mexico. They start settlements. Stephen F. Austin is famous for recruiting people to settle in Texas. But the settlers refuse to follow Mexican rules. They refuse to pay their taxes. They bring slaves with them, even though Mexico is not supposed to have slaves. And they just generally do not respect the government of Mexico. This general right here, General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, he is going to try to solve this problem. He's going to try to solve this problem using force. He's going to use his army, bring his army back up to Texas, Texas province of Mexico, and he's going to try to whip the American settlers into shape and show them that they need to follow Mexican laws. First battle was in October of 1835. The Texans won the first battle. And in March of 1836, they declared their independence from Mexico, and they announced that they're going to have their own country, and it's going to be just like the U.S., except for it's going to have slavery everywhere. Of course, Santa Anna is not going to settle for that. He's going to get his army together, and one of the key points of the early battles was the Battle of the Alamo. At the Alamo, an abandoned mission was fortified by the Texans in San Antonio, Texas. Santa Anna sent about 3,000 soldiers up to San Antonio to put this group down. And after a standoff, the women and children leave San Antonio, leaving only a couple hundred Texas men to defend the Alamo against 3,000 Mexican troops. There's the Alamo. That looks kind of like a peaceful place today, but it was a nightmare when the battle was going on. You can still see the bullet holes in it, what I'm told. The standoff, they fight for about 2 weeks. The Texans hold them off for about 2 weeks, but eventually run out of supplies and ammo. Santa Anna captures and kills all of them, and then goes on and kills 350 more prisoners. He was really trying to use kind of a terrorist tactic to intimidate and scare the Texans, and let them know that they're going to continue resisting. He will have no mercy on anyone that's in their way. And he actually even sent the women on to go tell everyone what has happened here, so they know. So Santa Anna's pretty ruthless. The Alamo there. What can we learn from the Alamo? The Texans chose to take a stand there. They knew that their odds were against them, but they had the courage to take a stand. And in life, sometimes you have to be true to yourself. And examine your beliefs. If you really believe in something, you may have to take a stand for it. You may want to test your beliefs instead of just accepting them. But if there's something that you really, really believe in, you may have to choose to take a tough stand against it, whether it's popular or not. At San Jacinto, the Texans get their revenge. Sam Houston captures Santa Anna. Santa Anna makes a huge mistake. He camps his forces out in a kind of like a bowl type ravine that had was surrounded by high ground around it. The Texans take the high ground, surround the Mexicans, and force them to sign a treaty giving Texas independence. So Santa Anna and his forces are captured. Makes Sam Houston a hero. He'll be president of the new independent nation of Texas. Stephen F. Austin will be Secretary of State, and the city of Houston will be founded near where the Battle of San Jacinto was. There is Houston. Unfortunately, the Texans immediately want the U.S. to take them in, and they want to be part of the U.S. again. They want that strength, that stability. However, the U.S. will not do that because they mean adding another slave state. Mexico did not recognize the treaty giving Texas independence, but they didn't have the strength to do a whole lot about it. You may have heard of the Texas Rangers. These were the people deployed on the border between Texas and Mexico to protect the Texans from the Mexican army. Thank you.